Sorry. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, sorry guys, I had to stuff my little pie hole of a face. Yeah. Um, I thought I would be done. I thought I would be done chewing, but the reality is, because I have such a small jaw, um, it takes me forever to eat. I'm a slow eater. I'm a slow eater. These bars, they're called Taos Bakes. Whew. I've been looking for these bars for, I want to say like a year, maybe even 2 years at this point. I finally found them again. And it takes me forever to chew. That's the thing, is it like I am so driven in life that I think I could eat it really quick because it's not that big of a bar. But I mean, in reality, about a third of the way through the bar, my jaw just gets exhausted. My masticators are exhausted, and I'm like, "Oh, let me just breathe. Let me just breathe." It's good stuff, though. It's good stuff. I love your long hair, so silky and pretty. Ooh, boo, you know why? My hair is actually not silky. um my hair is actually very frizzy. I sprayed rose water spray on myself, right? I sprayed this right before I went live, and the glycerin, because my hair is now fine, it weighs it down just enough that it'll calm the F down. No, it's not like silk at all. I have to put something in it, or else it's just a hot mess. It's a very hot mess because of the fact that this top part of my head, like literally just this part, is a very, very loose wave. And then all along the hairline and the entire back of my head, it wants to like corkscrew. It wants to curl to that degree. All right. I'm sorry. I thought I already said this. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is you shifted the ugly away. Let's just take a moment to breathe this out. Let's just take a moment to breathe this out. You did it. You shifted something. For whoever needed to shift something, you shifted. It shifted something, and whatever shifted, it's very beneficial for you. Okay. We're almost ready. Almost ready. All right. Here we are. Here we are. Gathered here today. Okay. So, whatever you shifted, it feels amazing. It feels like all the effort that you've been putting into just kind of getting life situated, getting your circumstance in such a place where uh future events have something to grip onto, right? For many of us, we don't realize that future events actually do require something to hold on to. They require almost like a, I don't know if you've ever taken pottery class. Um, I have. I took it in high school and then again later on in life. And you have to score the clay. You have to rough it up, make etches in it in order to put two pieces together. Because when you add the slip, which is watered down clay, um, it actually helps to bond the two pieces together much better. Right. And so I think what's been happening, it's almost like this sense of many people have been feeling as though life has just been cutting them up, right? Just a chop, 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 really just cutting you up over and over and over, being cut, being sliced, having things seeming like it's being torn down, destroyed, going through cycles of that. And in reality, nothing was being destroyed. The actuality of what you were experiencing was to bring, um, I guess, two separate pieces together. Two separate pieces together. The sensation of things being cut away, you being, like metaphorically cut open. It's really to help you. Oh, that's what it was about. It's really to help you get to an even better space of alignment, better space of manifestation. There was something that I wrote. Okay. All right. Let me send this. I will show you guys. I was in the car writing notes of things that soul was saying. I don't know if these apply to me, but they sounded profound as I heard them. So I went ahead and I wrote them down. All right. So let us first go ahead and, oh my God, did I close the whole mother effing window? Oh no, I didn't. Well, that scared me. That scared me. Which one is it? Okay, so this first and foremost. This is the process that you've been in, the recognition that this is what's happening. This is what's going on. So grooves have formed in the bones of my shoulders from the ever present weight of my heavy thoughts. So you've been carrying these thoughts on your shoulders for so long, thoughts of how to change life, how to change your trajectory, how to change the patterns and cycles you continuously live in, right? And then the next part, I release my grip on the expectations connected to a past of disappointment and open the way for new outcomes that bring me peace. This is the action that you have to take. And I think for some of you who have been able to shift the ugly away, you let go. And that's what you did. That's how you shifted it. And now that you've let go and things are shifting, what's the next thing you have to do? You must unlearn all the lies you were told about the person other people demanded you be in their story and focus now on remembering who the fuck you actually are. Right? These conversations with soul. I believe that these conversations this morning between the self and the soul, it really stemmed from a singular thought that popped in my head as I was working out. And it was kind of this thing of, A lot of hormones are running through my body right now. And I find myself almost devolving, not evolving, but devolving, going back to places of behaviors and thoughts that really, they're not bad, but are they places and thoughts, behaviors that help to push me forward, help to propel me towards whatever my purpose is? Not really. Not really. But they're not a waste of time either, because in that momentary backstep, I became aware of where I was at. I became aware that if I don't halt this right now, it's going to be an issue. And I don't want it to be an issue. So let me just get back in my proper place, my proper alignment with where soul is bringing me, with where life is really just allowing me to experience this other aspect of myself, this other potentiality of what I might become, meaning the version of me that's the highest, most profound expression of the various layers and levels of potentiality that soul has to select from in this lifetime. I mean, just the thought of it is like, I wonder what soul will pick, right? I wonder how all of this will play out. So, as I thought that, the intensification of the energies, the intensification of the realization of, um, you know what, I'm not doing my part to the degree that I know I'm capable of right now. Let me go ahead and put a little more effort into that versus allowing this to continue, because I don't want to take control. I don't want to take ownership of this process of, kind of backstepping into a place that I've already outgrown and exited. The sooner you can recognize that you're moving in the direction you don't want to move into, the easier it is to correct that. The easier it is for you to get back onto the proper path, to go in the proper direction, whatever that might be, right? Whatever that might be. And I think part of the ways that we as individuals really mess up our process is when we don't want to acknowledge that, oh, you know what? I'm starting another cycle of something that I don't like, right? Something I don't like. Whether you are justified or not, do you like that part of you? Because if you don't like that part, if when that part comes out to be witnessed by other people, you feel ashamed, you feel kind of like badly, maybe that part needs to be reassessed to see what should actually be done with it. For example, I was live on TikTok the other night. Like, what time was that? I don't know. It was late at night. I randomly needed to get on TikTok, and I was live streaming, and everything was just so chill. Like, yeah, the energy of everything, it was just like a lounge space. And pretty much everyone that was present was a mirror of the calm and just the flow of conversation. And it was lovely. It was such a lovely space to be immersed in, to the degree that I didn't realize I was live for 4 hours chatting with people on TikTok. And then at the very end, as I was like, okay, I got to go to bed because I got to go to the gym in like a couple hours, like 3, 4 hours. I need to sleep. Someone pops on, someone hopped onto the live stream, and immediately their energy was extremely abrasive to me. I don't, and I said it out loud. I didn't know why. All they said was, I came from the video where you said something massive is coming. Tell me what's coming. And I'm just like, oh, I'm not sure why, but I'm receiving your energy in a very abrasive manner. And it was, for some reason, it instantly made me feel like, ew, ew. Like, who do you think you are? Right. And so I kept my same tone and I communicated, like, if you're looking for some type of information regarding an extinction level event, something catastrophic, fear mongering type things, this is, you're going to be dissatisfied. You're going to be disappointed because I said everything that needed to be said. I said in that video exactly what was coming: an internal shifting, a change, a profound ability to overcome whatever, and then the person kept commenting, and I don't know why. My reaction, because I tried to remain in a space of neutral, a space of calm, and communicating in a very calm, very just chill manner. And then finally, I just had enough. Oh, and I just, I let them see another side of me. I told them off. I told them off and I banned them. I banned them. Why? Because I was realizing in that moment, their presence is causing me to enter into a space within my realm of potential behaviors, my realm of potential characteristics is the better word. Um, and I did not like what they were inviting out of me. And I was like, nope, you're out. You're out. You are out. And it was this exchange of they didn't want to hear anything. They know everything. They this, they that. And I just don't respond well to people who are like that. I just don't. I just don't. And then it's like you got to prove. You're trying to use me and a forced interaction with me to prove to everyone else who's witnessing how dickish you actually are, that no, she's wrong. I'm a good person. Uh, it's none of my business. It's none of my business. And I allowed myself to get ugly in that moment. And when I did that, it felt necessary to clearly communicate. I am actively cultivating this space. I can choose to either mirror the energy, the abrasive energy you are bringing here immediately, or I can choose to allow you to become emboldened and make things worse. I chose to behave that way. I chose it. But do I like it? No. So it's this thing of even the parts of you that are appropriate for that moment, sometimes it needs to be allowed to come forward, and you won't like that. And you're going to have to take time to address that. Just like you're going to have to take time to accept that response was needed. It was necessary. It was necessary. Right? Like the space that I'm cultivating over on TikTok when I live stream, it's becoming a space that feels so beautifully similar to our community here on YouTube. And it's further clarifying for me the gravity of how I affect any environment, positively or negatively, that I allow myself to be immersed in for any length of time. You have that same capacity. And when you use it intentionally, it becomes something so powerful, so efficient. You have to use that. And I think whatever's happened in the last few days, you've probably been intentionally using that without realizing that you are intentionally cultivating the environment that you're existing in. Things are going to intensify. If you allow it to intensify and allow that intensification to bring your attention to the places that need mild modifications, maybe you need to crank it up a little bit. Maybe you need to tone it down a little bit. Not because other people are uncomfortable around you, but because you want to be balanced in the way you approach any circumstance. I want to make that very clear. Okay. What ends up happening is you increase in your level of security within yourself. You feel much more secure with who you are, how you are, right? Clearance, this broom, this broom just trying to sweep away all of these things, to sweep things under the rug. And I mean, it's in reverse. So what is that communicating to me? Um, well, it's kind of telling me that I'm thinking maybe I need to not do that. Maybe you need to not just sweep things under the rug. Maybe certain things that are needing recalibration that involve other people in your life are needing to be spoken about outwardly, externally from you, meaning having a conversation and like, hey, there's a few things that I think we should talk about. I don't know. Maybe that message is for the people who haven't yet successfully shifted the ugly parts away from them, right? The things that they deem ugly. And maybe me picking up on some of um, the process that some of you have been in, and that very process I'm picking up on has given you the ability to shift intentionally. um, Maybe that's your gift for other people, where now other people can take into consideration some of the things that they need to consider, right? Fertility. Whenever this card comes up, it's usually an indication that you're being given the green light to go ahead and intentionally create opportunities for yourself. I don't know what's going on with the planet. I typically don't follow planetary alignments, planetary movements, and things like that. But there is something massive that's happening with energy. I can feel it. It is fueling. There's a fueling happening. I just realized that explains why. Okay, so I typically only go to the gym 3 days a week. And in those 3 days that I do go, um, I typically will work out hella crazy and lift massive amounts of weight, very heavy, really push myself, and then spend, you know, the days that I don't go kind of just allowing my body to recover. This week, so this tells me it started over the weekend. This week, I've literally gone every single day this week. And I don't see myself or feel myself needing to slow down. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. Are we needing to create something? Are we needing or wanting to create something? What is it? What is it? I'm going to look at my workout app because I feel like the numbers are going to tell me something. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Let's see. So, okay, well, bastards, because I have the free version of the app, they're not going to tell me how much I lifted this week. Huh. Let me find another way to get a secondary message. Mihai, I would like to know more. Show me more. Ooh, shit. Lately, it's been really cold. Mystical journey. Wait, let me just. I'm gonna put this in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me act a fool. Up in here, up in here. And nobody makes me act a fool. I do it myself. Ooh. Okay. Oh, y'all. Ooh. Damn. Let me show you this. Oh, baby boo. I'm saying, look at you. Look at you. The ooh. Forbidden knowledge. Oh my God. Okay. My heart is pounding. No, 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 no drinks, no drinks. No drinks. Okay. I gotta show you guys this stuff. So here, let me just okay. Mm. Okay. I'll stay on this damn app for hours. Okay, let me get the images. What? Okay. Michael's like, we know it's okay. You've been saying okay. Stop. It's part of my process. Okay, let me show you guys this. Okay, let's look at all of this. Make me sweat. Make me holler. Oh, here goes, guys. Oh, sorry. Let me share the real screen. All right. So, this was the screen that I opened up to. Right? So, it's this thing. So lately it's been really cold. What I've been seeing quite a bit of is like powder coated cyborg type art. I'm really into weird shit. I'm just saying I'm really into weird shit, like deal with it. So now there's colors that are being infused and I'm like, "Okay. I like that. I like that. I love these colors. I love the way they play together, but we do still have oh shit. Okay. Okay, look at this. Okay. The color of the eyes are very, very significant. The color of the eyes are very, very significant. For those of you who are in the soul sanctuary.love, as part of our conversation, please remind me of these eyes, okay? Remind me of these eyes. Remind me of the color of the eyes. Now, if we go here, it's almost like an awakening of these energies. Melchizedek and Christos come together. Melchizedek and Christos, right? Melchizedek and Christos, Melchizedek and Christos. All of these different self contained components coming together, coming from deep within the core, being blind to this, having a lot of what's going on in the back, the chaos, um, kind of be just this thing of like, Give me 1 second. All right. There we go. Hold on. I should not have done that yet. Sorry. Not me growling at people. Shit. Ooh. Make me sweat. Make me hotter. Okay, let me just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me just find this. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. Let me enter this way so that I can. Okay. Do. Yep. Sorry, guys. I just it's important that I properly do all of this. Yeah. So, all right. Part of what's happening right now, it's this thing of really starting to come into your power, right? The chaos of the world that's kind of being pushed behind you, your own internal divine cosmos, divine energy is being allowed to concentrate inside you and rise up, right? And then came the next thing that I went ahead and a screen is shut. So yeah, look at this. Forbidden knowledge and the identity being broken apart, right? The duality of you is being broken apart. You're falling very deep into your own spaces, identity. Yo, let me just say, I will keep this comment to myself. But yeah, so the identity, you falling deeper into the truth of who you are, this character that you're playing, it's no longer going to be played. And here's the thing, you're going to go from this to this. Do you see how that progresses? From this to this. Seated within the throne room of your heart. That's the goal. And all of that chaos that once tried to distract, derail, all of these different things. Yeah. No. Using that, right? Using that very thing that needed to be used. I'm going to use something today too. I'm going to use something. Yo, let me get back on here. So that makes a lot of sense to me. That helps me to truly understand exactly the process that we're in. There's certain things that you should never allow to get comfortable as though you would welcome them into your home. As a matter of fact, 35, 38, 33, 112, 54. Fuck yeah. Let's do this. I'm going to do some energy work because there's something that needs to be corrected. It's going to be amazing. You guys, if you would like, to be part of the energetic correction that I'm about to perform, go ahead and put hashtag cheese. Hashtag cheese. Okay. Let me go ahead and get some music started. Make me sweat. Hashtag cheese. I'm going to just get some music. For those of you who are sensitive to energy, make sure you're seated, okay? Make sure you're seated. Because yo girl's about to fuck shit up. It is appropriate. Let's see. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this song. Hashtag cheese. Let's do it. Breathe deep and slow. And I would like to remind everyone, we are responsible for the ways in which we allow our energies to be received without our consent or with it. No more giving your energy to anyone that is malignant towards you. Okay? None. Allowing yourself to exist in a space where all of your energy is focused on healing and sustaining peace. It's important these days. So breathe deep and slow. For those who have been removed from my life because of your malignancy and disruptive behaviors, whether you create a new account or not, you will not receive any energies from me ever again. Breathe deep and slow, guys. Breathe very deep, very slow. I'm now going to begin to emit a frequency that cannot be heard by the human ears, and it will not affect the human being. This frequency is intentionally calibrated to cause extreme discomfort in demonic things, in malignant consciousness. For too long, I have allowed toxicity to feel comfortable within my spaces. That ends today. Simple solution. Remove yourself from my space, or you will feel clear. The stillness has returned. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. And allow yourself to come back to center. Rejoin me in this space that I share. Such a beautiful stillness has returned. The agitating energy has been removed. It's time for intense learning to occur for all sentient beings. Those who use their sentience to be as malignant and malicious as possible. Anything directed at me will have a consequence. Rightfully so, appropriately so. It's time for me to enter into a space of a true teacher. I hope all of you feel the beautiful stillness that I am aware I am being bathed in this moment. It's amazing. It's amazing. When you say no more and you actually mean it, you have to make sure your energy, your actions, your reactions, your responses, you have to make sure they line up. You have to. You have to make sure all of that communicates the same thing. You have to. So there is no confusion. So there is no point of contention where, no, you made me think it was okay. No, it's not okay. It is not okay. That is not okay. And everything has to line up. Everything has to match up. Everything has to be about the everything you are creating for yourself. The life, the potential, your future, immediate future, long-term future. It all has to align in such a way that creates resonance for you, that creates the very movement that propels you further down your path, whatever that might be, wherever that might take you, whatever that might mean in the way you develop. Being very intentional now, it's absolutely necessary. It is absolutely necessary. Okay. There's something I need to address. Killian, um, please don't create any more accounts. You cannot stay in this space because you're very close to full merger at this point, and I don't want to be around that energy. When I say you're very close to full merger, I don't think you're a bad person, but when I say you're very close to full merger, you are now approaching the point of me not being able to help at all to remove that. And once you reach that point and you continue to come into this space, there will be a consequence because I will not expose the audience to that circumstance. Again, I don't believe you to be a bad person. Um, I don't believe you to be malignant, intentionally, unintentionally, but your circumstance is now negatively affecting the environment here. And I have to be very upfront with you. I don't want to give you a false sense of, um, you know, things are being cleared and you're being bought more time. None of the things that I do in the live streams will be entering your field. None of it has been entering your field. I want to be very, very transparent with you. I don't want to give you a false sense of security. Okay. So I hope that you are receiving what I am communicating in the way I am intending, from a space of neutral and a simple desire to properly inform you of what's happening. Okay. So if you could abstain from commenting, that would probably be best. That would probably be best for you. Okay. So carrying forward, um, winter, right? This cold space that you've been existing in, the coldness of it all, it can be something that, for those who are not accustomed to having um, access to all of the seasons, I'm speaking metaphoric, I'm speaking in terms of emotions and thoughts, all the seasons, right? Um, Winter might be very intimidating. It might feel very hostile, inhospitable. It's just another season, though. It's just another season. And to kind of go further with that metaphor, um, or is it an analogy? um, some flora, some species of plants, trees, and shrubs and whatnot, they actually need the cold temperatures for an X amount of time in order for the seed to be properly prepared, signaled, encouraged to grow during spring. Sometimes we have to experience the coldness of life, of circumstance, of all of these different things, um, because it encourages our growth. I know, I know. It's definitely something that can be um, uncomfortable, intimidating, um, undesirable, and all of these other not so good words. But it's not the end all be all. It's not worst case scenario necessarily. Um, it's just another season. And I think if you can view it in that way, where it's just another season, right? It is just another season. Just keep telling yourself that. It's just another season. After you've experienced the cold of winter, you welcome the warmth of spring. And as you feel the warmth of spring, you get very excited about the heat of summer. And as you are immersed in that blistering heat of summer for some people, you then begin to anxiously await autumn because it's cooler. And as you enter into autumn, you're like, snow is coming soon, snow is coming soon. And it's a fun thing because you're thinking of all the different fun stuff you can do in the snow. These are all just seasons, right? These are just the seasons of your life. And it's up to you if you're going to see winter as something more than merely a season. I don't know that it's good if you don't allow yourself to go through um, these processes that you are currently. And let me just tie my hair back. I don't know that that's the ideal thing to do, you know, not allowing yourself to go through the very experiences that are necessary. See the concealment, trying to hide from yourself. You trying to hide from your soul. You cannot hide your insecurities from soul. Soul knows. Soul is absolutely aware of who you are, how you are, where you are within yourself. Soul knows. You can't hide it. What you can do, what you're encouraged to do, is respect your process. Allow yourself to be aware of the process you're in, and simply just encourage an influx of respect for the process that you're in. It doesn't have to be enjoyable. It doesn't. How an example of this, right? Because people might be like, wow, what do you mean respect your process? Okay. So um it's this thing of, let's make an analogy. Remember, I was saying I only was going to the gym 3 days a week because I didn't want to injure myself. All right. Well, if I'm really serious about doing a competition, I need to go about 6 days a week. Okay. Let's go ahead and try. So for the first 3 days that I went this week, I went hard. I went hard and it felt good. And I was keeping up. I was keeping up. Yesterday and today, I went much lighter. I respected some of the limitations of my joints. I didn't do as many sets. I didn't do as many reps. I pushed myself to the edge while also respecting the fact that I'm in a process of conditioning my body to acclimate to more work. I have to respect the process. Once upon a time, I didn't respect the process, and I instead would create these unrealistic time frames I'm going to drop this much within this many weeks. I'm going to build this many inches within these many weeks. And yeah, I was able to do it at the detriment of my joints, at the detriment of my sense of self. There was no respect for the process that I was in. And these days, I wonder, like, what's so different now from back then? Because I've been going to the gym for a few years already, but I haven't been able to get the kind of muscle development that now I'm getting, um, only going 3 days a week. What's the difference? Like, I don't understand. I used to go 6 days a week, twice a day, and go hard AF, but I didn't have this type of growth. Why? It should be harder for me to build muscle. I'm in my mid 40s, yet I'm packing it on. You see, every week there's a major noticeable difference in my physique. What is so different? I tell you what, I didn't respect the process before. The process was about what I could endure as I punished myself and my body. These days, it's not about what can I endure. It's about, body, show me how far we can go. We can't go that far today. It's okay. Let's rest. Let's replenish. Let's eat more of this type of food. Let's eat more of that type of food. Respecting the process. Respecting the process you're in. Respecting the season you're existing in right now. Another example of this. So I have a nectarine tree that I've lugged around to so many houses for a couple of years now. I've lugged it around. It's like crazy. So this past year, the weather's been kind of crazy, and I was kind of bummed a few months ago because it's like, gosh, you had all of these flowers and all the flowers are gone and there's no fruit. There's no fruit. Kind of sad. I was looking forward to you feeding me your nectarines, my little tree. And then the other day, literally maybe just like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, I adjusted the big ass pot. I call it my little tree, but it's huge. It's way taller than me. But most living things are way taller than me. It's so big that I could actually fit two of me inside the pot that is used to hold it. I'm not even joking. I could fit two of me in that pot. And I rotated it a little bit just so more of the leaves that are on there could get more sun. And I realized, oh, I have 7 little nectarine babies. 7. Oh my God. Because you know what? About 2 weeks ago, the reason I turned the pot just a little bit, maybe like an inch and a half, 2 inches, I was talking to it. I was talking to it. And I was like, don't worry. I'm not upset you didn't make nectarines this year. It's not your fault. The weather has been crazy, but you're still alive. It's okay. You're still alive. There's always next year. Next spring, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to feed you a lot of nutrition. We're going to amend your soil a little bit, and then you can show me some nectarines next year. And then I turned the pot. I was like, maybe you need a little more sun. Let's adjust you. I talk to my plants like that. I do. I do. And then I don't always talk to my plants like that. Sometimes I'm like, what up, ho? You thirsty? You aqua hoe, drinking all day. So I play with my plants. But when I turned it, I was like, what is that? There were 7 baby nectarines because I respected its process and I allowed myself to put some energy into the shifting, the adjusting, hoping that Not that it would grow nectarines because I turned it like an inch and a half, 2 inches. More that I hope that in the last little bits of weeks or maybe 2 months or so where the weather is still warm before all your leaves fall off and you go to sleep for a few months, I hope that I'm providing you the adequate amount of sunlight, of water, because when you wake up next year, I have big plans for us to do together, right? Respecting its process, knowing that I need to provide things that will support its growth, its production. When was the last time you treated yourself like a well loved plant? When was the last time? Ooh, Michael says, It ain't me. It's not me, okay? I'm not saying this. I'm just repeating what Michael says. And now Marlene is chiming in. Marlene is saying, It's true, though. It's true. Share it with them. So, what Michael said is, can I paraphrase? Because the way you said it was a bit abrasive. I'm going to paraphrase. I'm not even going to ask you. Have you noticed those who don't have a green thumb tend to be people who also struggle to care for themselves? Not because they're incapable, but because they have a tendency to be so focused maybe on so many things, maybe on other things. I'm not sure, but there's very little or minimal focus on the parts of you that really need your attention. In order for plants to be able to grow and thrive, you kind of have to pay attention to at least some degree. You need to pay attention to when the soil is dry. You need to pay attention to when the soil needs to be amended. You need to pay attention to the needs of the plant. How much sunlight does it need? I have this huge tree in the house, right? It's a type of alocasia. It's a big ass tree. The leaves are about like this big. And I've been really preoccupied with different things, and some of his leaves have been turning yellow. And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're so thirsty. You're dehydrated. I'm so sorry. Let me give you some water, but not drown your roots, because if I drown your roots, you might become susceptible to root rot. As a matter of fact, let me assess. Are you even happy in this little corner that I put you in? You're not friends with Monstera Bonstera?" I call my Monstera Monstera Bonstera. Okay, it has to rhyme. I was like, Monstera's not being nice to you, huh? I know. I'm gonna move you. I'm gonna move you closer to the window so that you can have more sunlight. You love the morning sun. Let's do that. Because of the shelf that I put it on, it's too tall. Only the last couple leaves near the bottom get sunlight. Well, those leaves started to burn a little bit. Too much sun exposure. It didn't like that. It wants diffuse light. And so I moved it to another place. And now he's happy. He's happy. The yellowing has halted. But the leaves that got bathed in too much light, they got burned. They got burned. But that's okay, because the potentiality for new leaves to grow has increased due to me now paying attention. You need a little extra attention from me. Pay closer attention to your water. Make sure that you're not getting sick. Making sure that all your needs are taken care of. When was the last time we did that for ourselves? Like, really pay attention. It's only since I began my self love journey that I've developed a green thumb. Plants would consistently die with me before. I would try so hard too, but they would consistently die because they're a reflection of my energy. If, and no, this is never going to happen, but I was going to say, if ever If ever I invited all of you into my home, you would feel the living energy of all my plants, and they exist as a reflection of my internal circumstance. My plants are huge. They're huge. And they have a tendency to recover from illness very quickly. They have a tendency to not even get sick. Why? Because now they are a reflection of me. I see something I don't like. I feel something I don't like an imbalance, a depletion, a deficit of some kind. Not only am I going to take care of that plant a little bit more closely, I'm going to see what parts of me are being reflected, projected into this poor green baby. Like, what part of me? What is it? What is it? So, going back to my tree that burned in the light, that tells me, yes, I need to allow myself to step forward. Yes, there are big things I will be accomplishing before the end of this year. Yes, more focused attention will be on me for some reason that I don't know. And yes, I understand right now to have that type of attention is a little too much for me. It's a little too much for me. I still need time to acclimate. And that's why I'm not doing any of that now. That's why I'm being made aware so many months in advance that by the end of the year, I will have acclimated, and then it will truly be time. Time for what? I don't know. Whatever it's time for, we'll be ready. We'll be dressed. We'll be ready. We're going to get out our celebration outfits. Whatever we need to celebrate, we're going to celebrate. Sometimes we need to go in steps. Sometimes what we need to do first in order to be able to successfully shift away the ugly parts is to acknowledge there are parts that we are identifying as ugly. And then we have to dig deep to see why we think that's ugly when it's really just a part of the process. It's just a part of bringing your attention, your awareness, and your understanding to the places it currently needs to be. And, it's one of those things. The winter is just a season. Respect your process. As someone who's lived a large majority of my life in California, it don't snow there. Are you kidding me? We don't live in snow, we visit it. Stop. Stop. We're afraid of hail. Hail the size of tapioca pudding. I mean, come on now. We're afraid of hail. And when I was immersed in an environment that has fake winter, that was years ago. When I first fell in love with Colorado, I was like, oh my God, they have snow. We're going to die. And then the first, storm that came that year, um, as soon as the little gentle flurries came, just so gentle, I opened the hotel room door and I was like, we're going to die. I was so serious. I wasn't joking. I was like, there's no cellar of food. Like, calm down, calm down. And I learned that year because there was a lot of snow that ended up falling over the next few hours. But all of that shit was melted by the next day. That's why Colorado is one of my most favorite states to either visit or temporarily reside in because they have fake winter. The fake winter acclimated me to snow. It helped me to learn, dress in layers. I get cold very easily. I need these layers to insulate my warmth. And now I'm a little snow bunny. I love it. I love snow. When it starts to snow, I'm like, kids, let's go outside. Right? Yeah. I needed to go through that fear filled winter in a hotel room in order to learn that I won't die just because it's snowing. And why did I need to learn that? I didn't know it then. That was like, what, 2015? That's almost 10 years ago. That's almost 10 years ago. I needed to learn it then. Why? Because as part of my development, as part of my path, I've had to live on mountaintops for quite a few years now. On top of mountains, regardless of what state you are in, when it is winter, it is actually winter. It is actually winter. There's nothing to fear. It's just a season. And when it's been cold for how many months and you're sick and tired of playing outside in the snow, you're sick and tired of all the slush that you have to drive through, and it's so wet all the time and muddy and just fucking disgusting at that point, guess what? I remind myself it's about to get warm and then I'm going to miss the snow. So just enjoy it while it's still here, right? If you can't get yourself to process life in this way where you can observe from a space of neutrality, and when you're becoming aware that you're exiting out of that space of neutrality, that you need to remind yourself of how these processes go because you've experienced this before. If you can't do that, there's nothing that's going to be fulfilled because you're not taking responsibility of the ways in which you are allowing your process to backpedal into areas of um, unhealthy expectations. When your expectations are not aligned with the reality of the circumstance before you, you will be disappointed. Now, what did we say earlier? Let me remind you. I'll put it back on the screen. I release my grip on the expectations connected to a past of disappointment and open the way for new outcomes that bring me peace, right? Allowing yourself to open the way, open those pathways that will allow soul to deliver you from the very things you need to be delivered from and to deliver to your door whatever it is that you need in that moment, whether it's an experience, a connection, or I don't know, something. So, for those who are probably like, oh my gosh, how do I know if I'm not being responsible enough? How do I know if I'm not being responsible for my journey? How do I know if I'm upside down in that? Well, where's your perspective? Is your perspective upside down? Do you see the world and life as like, and I hear this often, okay? It doesn't mean you're a bad person if you have this logic of, um, I been through enough already? I would not say that. Whenever I used to say things like that, circumstance would end up happening to show me that however much I believe I've been through, there's always so much more that I could go through that's even more negative than whatever I've already lived through. Yeah. Never invite soul to increase the ante, to up the ante, and like, what more can you do to me? I need a break. Uh, can I just, I don't know. I don't know. But when you don't flow with soul, when you have this perspective that you're gonna be punished some more, then soul will allow things to happen that will help you to see that those situations where you thought you were being punished, oh, that was a cakewalk. It wasn't even hard. You just didn't realize it then. It wasn't even hard back then. It was inconvenient. Yeah, probably. Probably. Was it hard? Was it impossible? Was it probably not? You want to shift the ugly away? You have to become flexible. You have to become strong in your flexibility. Your strength should come from your flexibility. But if you're not going to let yourself stretch, if you're not going to stretch the confines of your perspective, I mean, if it's upside down and everything is pulled tight because you're withdrawing from life, you're withdrawing from the learning, you're withdrawing from all of these different things, then that membrane that you call an auric shield is going to be pulled in pretty tight and you're not going to be able to shift anything. Yeah, unfortunately, you're going to need to stretch to create the space that's necessary to shift, turn, adjust. And there will be friction as you go through that. There will absolutely be friction as you go through that. And you have to use discernment. Discernment should be rooted, anchored in a space of neutral observation. You're not going to accurately discern something so long as your emotions are heightened in a densified manner. The negative emotions that people sometimes feel, that I sometimes feel as I'm challenged in a specific type of way, not challenged by other people, but challenged by life, invited to rise to the challenge. um I can't fully discern what's happening if I'm so upset that, oh my god, this is not fair. And yeah, I've had situations where I've felt that. I'm a human being. I'm a human being, but I don't stay there long because I'm not just human. I'm also aware of the potentiality that lives inside me, the capability that I was born with, right? And it's not just energy work. I'm talking about how capable you are to navigate your life, to overcome challenge, to rise to the occasion. Surface. You're not going to be able to live a surface level any further. Those who are in your environment that choose to remain um, as unaware as they possibly can, they want to keep their eyes shut to the way they want to keep their eyes shut to the way in which they drown themselves in their own pain and own circumstance. Those are people who are probably going to fall to the wayside. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. But it's like there is now a growing divide between you and those type of people. Because look, I mean, you're awake. You're aware. You have knowledge of certain things, and that can be used to further your growth, or you can pretend and try and hold on to the environment and the connections that, I guess, for some your soul is saying you're outgrowing. I personally wouldn't do that, just because I've tried that quite a few times over the course of my life, and every single time it's turned out really bad for me specifically. Like it didn't help in any way. And at the end of that experience, every single time, those connections fell away anyways. I couldn't stop it. And I tried really hard. I couldn't stop it because they were never meant to be with me for the next part. So that's something to take into consideration, okay? Connection in reverse. The connection is being severed. It's being severed. Okay? The intensity of your emotions and connection to whoever it is, the heat of it, it's upside down. So I think you're gonna need to make sure that you prepare yourself to understand some of what might happen is an increasing awareness of how that connection has really hindered your process, your growth, for however long that connection has existed. For some, it's a fairly recent connection. For others, it's something that's been present for a very long time. I know it's going to make it hard if it's been present for a very long time. You're going to feel like you're abandoning, you're betraying someone that you love. The reason I pause in what I'm saying is because as soon as I said you're going to feel like you're abandoning and betraying someone that you love, Michael says, yeah, yourself. So, in order to be loyal to a person who's misaligned with who you are and what you're becoming, you are betraying yourself, you are abandoning yourself, you are not loving yourself. I'm not trying to convince you to walk away from people. I'm just trying to bring your attention to some of the things you're not considering as you try and control the outcomes of your life in a way that is not aligned with where your life is headed. Is one of you drinking some taho or like a brown sugar boba drink? What is that? It's so good. Sago and gulaman. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like gulaman. Um, it's a Filipino drink. It's like a boba drink. Well, whoever's drinking that, drink some more of it. Order another one. Are you like at Chowking? Is one of you at Chowking right now? Because it's tasting very much like Chowking black jelly drinks. Ooh, I like it. I can't have that anymore, but I like it. Drink some more for me, please. So you can feel that this is, you know, you can feel that this is resonating deep within your core for those who really need to just hear this already, right? You got to make sure whatever it is that happens, you have to honor your needs first. You just, you have to honor your needs first. It's important. You're not receiving these messages in context with what your soul is trying to actually communicate. For those who are trying to refuse the resonance of the messages their soul has been giving them, with the reiteration of that message here in this live stream. Um, I'm getting hungry and sleepy. Yeah. Faith in the process, it's in reverse. I think maybe for some, you're refusing because you don't have faith in the process. Um, I could understand why someone would not have faith in the process. Maybe you're tired of being lonely, right? Maybe you've gone through things where you feel like you're not lovable, that no one loves you, no one stays around long enough, like feeling like there's something wrong with you. And I don't think something's wrong with you. I think what's happened is, let me bring this on the screen. I think for you specifically, I think you need to see this and quite possibly screenshot it. Unlearn all the lies you were told about the person other people demanded you be in their story. And focus now on remembering who the fuck you actually are. I think for, you know, some people, you don't even know who you are. You've become so accustomed to the ways in which, you know, other people have convinced you of a character that you've played, a character that they asked you to play at some point. It might have been a character they asked you to play in childhood. It might have been a character that you played, um, you know, during a relationship. I don't know. I don't know. I I don't know. You know, whatever the character is, it's a character. It's not you. When you're being who you are, you're not playing. That takes no effort. It takes no thought. You're just who you are, right? Card number 24, new birth guarded vigilantly. You have to be careful of who you allow in your space, whose words you allow to negatively impact you as you are being pushed forward into a space of new growth. A new level of understanding is being allowed to come forward. And as that happens, you need to listen for truth. You shifted away the ugly parts already. Okay. You turned and faced a different potential, inviting something else to come through. Conscious connections. You're going to start to be aware of how disconnected you actually are. This new version of you, this upgraded version of you is no longer as compatible with your current environment as it once was. And again, you have to remove that martyrdom mindset, martyrdom mindset, where it's like, oh, I would rather suffer and be miserable and forego the potentialities of life to prove to you that I'm loyal to you. I'm grateful for you. And what's that going to do? What is what is that going to do? If the connection has been unplugged, the connection was unplugged. The only thing that can happen and be feasible is the person who you're no longer aligned with, they're going to have to go through their process, their own process of rising in their awareness of themselves. And then you might be able to remain connected, right? Card number 23, defend to the end the worthwhile. This is not about defending the disconnected connection. This is about defending yourself and your spaces of vulnerability, because you need to guard vigilantly that new birth that you've just experienced. You're not yet acclimated to the newness of the way you see life, right? Card number 16, what you want wants you. If you want community, there is communities. There are communities that exist that have the capacity to keep time with you, right? To understand some of the different things you're going through. You need to have a big bold vision though. I think what's really happening is that a lot of people are going through their first dark night of the soul, where it becomes it becomes a space of just, I don't know, almost like needing to understand yourself. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. There's a lot of shifting going on. I think that might be I think that might be the very thing that I've been detecting for the past few days. Hmm. Hmm. There is like this thing happening. It's a an ascension event. Card number 27, receiving. So allow yourself to take in the new energies that lead to the new mindsets that takes you deeper into the spaces you actually belong in, right? Okay. Yep. All right. So collaborative dreaming, restore and replenish in reverse. I think what happens is if you continue to stay in this space with a person's or person, I don't know, it's a general reading, guys. The environment, whatever the environment is, of people who choose to keep their eyes closed to the ways in which their own perception affects their life, you're going to continue to be in this position, an upside down fetal position. But that's the position you need to be in order to birth yourself. It's just that you're not going to be able to restore and replenish while you are in that position. Um, but you will be pushed into a different form of existence. Follow your own rhythm, go through the process. Just let yourself go through the process. You're going to go through a transformation that's not going to be all shiny and pretty and, all these things that we think ascension mechanics should be. No matter what, keep your integrity. Do not give up. Surrender in reverse. Come out of that environment with your strength amplified. Come out of that environment with a newfound unconditional love for yourself. Come out of that new environment or unfamiliar environment with your compassion for self reawakened. Move forward in reverse. Don't let yourself stay in that environment. That environment is supposed to serve as a catalyst, not be your new home. Okay? Not be your permanent home is the better way to put it. Balance will be restored. Your emotions are going to guide you, and you are needing to let go of that limited belief structure. A lot of things, a lot of things. This is a very promising period. Um, I don't feel like it's anything that you need to be um, unwilling unwilling to undergo. I just don't feel that at all. I feel like it's understandable that there be some hesitation, some skittishness. It's understandable that you, I don't know, feel some type of way about it, but you can do all of those things, be skittish and all of that, and still be fully compliant with what your soul is trying to do, right? So let that happen for you. Let it happen. Let life shift and change. See yourself in a new space. See yourself in a new mindset, surrounded by people who have a resonance with you. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very, very beautiful thing. You just allow yourself. Allow, allow, allow. I got to get going, guys. I got to get all the preparations ready for my class. Um, Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. If you haven't already, look for me on TikTok, look for me on Instagram. Also, if you would like to have a private reading with me, click on this QR code or the link in the comments. If you would like to see the other services that I offer, if you want to see the full menu, click on this QR code and it will take you to my online shop. So until next time, please make sure you take care of yourself, you address your needs, and you make yourself your priority. You are very important, and you need to make sure you start taking care of yourself. Okay. It's only fair that you receive love from yourself to the depths that you give love to other people. Right. I'll see you guys again very soon. Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone.